Ladies, we appreciate you being here. We're just giving everyone some time to log in. Jaiana,
Yes, ma'am.
what I think I might do is I'm just going to probably go live on my timeline. It's not allowing me to go live in my group, which I don't understand why.
You said it's not letting you go live in the group.
It says subject does not have permission to create live video in this group, which isn't.
Did you go to actualzoom.com, the website, and give yourself permission? That's so strange then, since you're the owner of the group.
Yeah, very interesting. Yep, because I set it up and everything. Very interesting. Oh, this is not the time for that. Okay, what we'll do, let's just go ahead. Let's move forward. And
then we can always post a recording in both groups.
In both groups, correct. All right. So ladies, we thank you so much for hanging out with us. Just so you know who I am, I'm Monique Walker, Dr. Monique Walker. I am the founder of Women with Perspective. Women with Perspective has been a part of my life since 2015. We've been through some ups, downs, in betweens. We've seen so many great things come out of this group. And one of the things that I have a vision for us moving forward into 2022 is to have phenomenal, strong entrepreneurs, people who are going to be able to pour into our group to come on and share with us their expertise. And so I recently connected with my girl, Jaiana, and her experience is amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about her. When I got this message, I was like, wait a minute, who's talking negative about my friend? But this is who she is. She is a McDonald's addict turned holistic health coach, the lead fitness instructor on Rachel Hollis's Rise app, and has been featured on various podcasts, has been also very passionate about exercise, nutrition, and overall, she has good conversation about the meaning of life. If you take a look at her work, you can see that she not only talks the talk, but she walks the walk. She's constantly sharing and pouring into women, sharing with and pouring into women her own journey, her own struggles, which to me is phenomenal. So we're not getting a facade, we're getting a real woman who talks about real things. And for that reason, I felt that she would be appropriate to come to Women with Perspective, because we're real people with real issues that love real people. So I'm going to back up a little bit and give my girl a chance to talk. Hi, Jaiana. We're so happy that you are here.
Hello. Thank you, everyone, for having me. I'm so grateful to be able to have this conversation. I really would like for it to be a Q&A style session, simply because we are in January, and this is a time of year when everyone is focused on their health. And this is the time of year where people can go down this trail of doing diets and quick fix programs and health challenges. And I just wanted to have this conversation as quickly in the new year as possible to help women see that they can have a different option that is going to allow them to have more joy, more fun, more love on their health and fitness journey. And then most importantly, be on this journey December 31st, 2022, which is my ultimate goal for everyone on this call.
Awesome. So Jaiana,
yes,
I know that I got that intro, but I want you to tell us who you are, what you're all about. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes. So I identify as a holistic health coach, and a lot of times when people hear coach, they think of something like a Beachbody. I am not a Beachbody coach. I actually have my certifications in personal training, sports nutrition, behavior change specialist, which basically focuses on how people go from let's say not on a health journey to being on a health journey, and actually being excited and wanting to be on this journey, right? Not because they're forced to, but because something in their head clicked and was like, I want to be on this journey. And then in a couple of hours, I will be officially done with my certification through the School of Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And I say all of these big words just so as we go through this conversation, you ladies understand that I am super qualified to be here talking to you today about your health and fitness and about holistic health. But I'm also not perfect. Before I went on this journey, I was so addicted to McDonald's and processed food. I had memories in college of boys wanting to take me on dates. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go to McDonald's, because I just loved it so much. And so if I can do it, I'm telling you, you can do it. My journey has not been perfect, but 8 years later, I can celebrate the fact that I'm still on this journey. So yay.
Yay for you. Gosh, McDonald's though? No, you gotta live.
I'm like, I wish I was one of those women who were like Chick-fil-A, but no, it was McDonald's. So good.
So you talk about holistic health. Now tell us, what exactly is holistic health?
Yes.
And also let us know how holistic health differs from dieting. I'd really like to know the difference.
Absolutely. So holistic health to me means recognizing that your health and fitness journey it does not just boil down to exercise and nutrition. It is about your stress management. It is about positive mindset. So what are you saying to yourself when no one is around, right? It's about giving yourself grace. It's about getting adequate amounts of sleep. So holistic health is not just about, how you move your body or what food you put into your body, but like holistically, how are you as a human being on a day-to-day basis? And I like to say that when you are on a holistic health journey, your primary focus is just feeling good, having good energy, feeling good on a day-to-day basis. And when you can start feeling good by the things that you do, so moving your body, eating whole foods, you're going to start craving that stuff more and more and more. And that's going to trickle into maybe you wanting to do meditation or yoga or drinking more water, etc. We'll go into like the actual tactics soon. But dieting is basically restrict. So, hey, if you want to lose weight or if you want X goal, you're going to cut out sugar or you're going to cut out alcohol, you're going to cut out carbs, you're going to cut out fats. That is not holistic health at all. Holistic health, the biggest difference, especially when it comes to nutrition, is recognizing that no food is off limits. Like, food is not good or bad, right? It's just food. And the thing about holistic health that I think is so beautiful is that food that might be medicine for me could be poison for you. And so it's about recognizing bioindividuality, which means that the way I do things might be right for me, but it is not right. It might not be right for you. So it's about exploring health and fitness in a way that is individualized to you. And going back to that question, what makes me feel good? What movement, what nutrition, like at the end of the day, makes me feel good? Because I could be like a kale lover and I'm eating that all the time. But for you, it's making your gut like hurt, you're bloated, you're in pain. And again, that just because that food's healthy for me doesn't mean it's healthy for you. So holistic health is, again, recognizing that health doesn't just boil down to nutrition and exercise, recognizing that what's healthy for the girl down the street might not be healthy for you. And so that your health and fitness journey should be individualized, not something that's for the masses, which is why I'm against like big corporations that preach to you that you should do things one way.
That makes perfect sense. So one of the things that I've recently come into for myself is being in alignment. So if I'm understanding correctly, holistic health is like being in alignment with yourself, forgetting all the other external factors or the recommendations, but being truly in alignment with yourself mentally, physically, nutritionally, listening to your internal state. Yeah. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I would even say emotionally and spiritual as well. And the reason why I say that is because I work with women on their health journey every single day. Like, that's what I do. And again, health and fitness can be very emotional, especially when you're looking to lose weight, let's say, and you're hopping on the scale and it's not doing what you want it to do, right? And so going on this journey means that you're not just going on this journey to see your body change or to see the number on the scale go down, but to also like really tap into what makes you feel good spiritually and emotionally as well, because that scale I tell my clients this all the time. It is never going to go like this. Never. What it does more often is it goes like this. And as long as you're on a downward trend overall, you're doing the right things. But if it goes like this one week and this one week and this one week and this one week, and you're emotionally riding this roller coaster with the scale, you're not having fun. This journey is going to be miserable. And so again, why are you doing it anyways? Like, it's not going to be something that you can sustain. So in my work in holistic health, we're also helping women just be more happy and joyful on a day-to-day basis, not related to their weight, not related to the scale.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I don't even look at the scale anymore. I decided that no, because also what I understand is muscle weighs more than fat. So I'm looking for the scale to go down and I'm like, wait a minute. But I can see physically that I'm losing inches, but the scale is not, it's either going a little bit up. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I don't even look at the scale anymore.
Yeah. And I have a question for you, because I know we were just talking yesterday and you're like, I'm trying to go to the gym, but I'm not feeling well. And I know like gym and exercise is super important to you. So if you're not using the scale, what do you do to track progress? You mentioned inches. Is there anything else you like to do to measure your progress, like with weight training, eating, etc.?
I do challenge myself. So I set goals when I go in the gym. I set goals and I use that as a way to measure my progress. So at one point I could do 1.7 miles in 30 minutes. Then it went to 2 miles. Then it went to 2.25 miles. And so I use that as a good way to measure. Or when I do the stairs, there was one point where I could only do 5 minutes of stairs. Now I do 30 minutes of stairs, 1,800 stairs. So I use that to measure my progress to see, okay, I'm gradually, that's how I measure now. I can't do the scale. The scale would drive me crazy. And I know that. So that brings me to that thought that where you talked about mindset, you mentioned dieting and you mentioned mindset, you mentioned holistic health and mindset. So let's talk a little bit about that holistic mindset. What does that look like?
Yeah. So, and again, everything I'm saying, ladies, is from a lens of how Jaiana Francis, runs Boss Babe Fitness Academy and my definition of holistic health, and then what I've been able to co-create with my clients. So if something that I'm saying it's not relating to you, or it is relating to you, that's great, but still take it and make it your own thing. Because again, it goes back to bio-individuality. Maybe the way I say something or think about something might be super aligned with you, might be halfway there, might not be at all. So how can you take the same question and then answer it for yourself? But what I've seen in my work and my practice that has done really, really well is holistic health mindset is all about getting rid of the all or nothing. You just got to let that go. Like, your health and fitness journey is a journey. And if you're going to be on this journey 5, 10, 20 years down the road, you have to understand that it's not all or nothing. We can't always 100% give our all to anything. Like, if we did, we would get burnt out. And then on the opposite side of burning out is binging. And then you just keep going right back and forth. It's like, I'm going to restrict everything. I'm going to eat everything. I'm going to restrict everything. I'm going to eat everything. And that's not only toxic, but it's just damaging to the mental and emotional aspect of your health and fitness journey. So for me and my clients, it's all about ditching the all or nothing, and instead asking yourself, what can I do today to be consistent? So for example, if you were supposed to eat this like frittata egg thing for breakfast, and you find yourself in a Chick-fil-A line with a biscuit chicken sandwich and grape jelly and a diet lemonade, because that would be my order, and hash browns, then it's like, don't beat yourself up about that. Like, it's okay. Like, you can go to, you always have lunch and dinner to make that healthy decision that's in alignment with your body. So it's not, oh, because I had this for breakfast because I was in a rush, the whole day is gone now and I can't start until next Monday. That's definitely not true. But with that all or nothing mindset, it's like either I'm all in or I'm all out, versus just giving yourself grace and aiming for consistency. Another thing that we preach and have come to an agreement with our clients is that your health and holistic health mindset is viewing healthy eating and moving your body as a foundation of love. Like, you eat the healthy foods and you move your body and you get adequate sleep and you drink water because you love your body. Like, you see your body as your temple, and with any temple, like, the way you preserve it is through love, care, respect, not punishment and shame and toxicity, right? And that could just even be your thoughts about how you view your body. So the foundation to me is like, I am on this health journey no matter what, because I love myself so deeply to my core that I'm going to show up for myself. And I know it's really hard in Western society where we have McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. I was vegan for 4 years. And when I tell you, I saw so many billboards and signs about $1 burger here, this milkshake here, but you never saw anything about fruits and vegetables. And it just blew my mind. So if you're in a situation right now where you're like, well, this is like great and an ideology, but to implement it seems a lot and really hard. I understand that, because like I said, addicted to McDonald's. But at the end of the day, that's why we just start with giving ourselves grace, recognizing that we're going on this journey from a place of self-love, not because we hate our bodies or because we, need to feel guilty or ashamed about the way we look or what we haven't done in the past. It's about choosing every single day that you are just going to love yourself and figuring out what loving yourself and your body, the only one that you have, what that means to you.
That's powerful. You just hit on a lot. I mean, so much, because I speak to women all the time. You're a women-based business too. So the struggles of a woman, the self-hate, body image issues. Oh, you hit on so many different things. And you talked a lot about self-love. And I heard also when there's some self-care, which I did a video last night on self-care. And I recognize that in building good behavior patterns, it's like building good habits, right? You have to build good habits, healthy habits. What does healthy holistic habits look like? What does that look like?
Okay, great question. So again, holistic health to me goes back to 5 things. So exercise, nutrition, positive mindset, stress management, and sleep. So in those 5 categories, healthy habits to me that are the basis of my program, so Boss Babe Fitness Academy, is eating vegetables. And that can, you don't need to eat mushrooms or kale just because I'm posting that on my Instagram. It's any vegetables that make you feel good, right? We're always going back to what makes me feel good. So eating more vegetables, eating more whole foods. And the way I describe whole foods are this: if a strawberry is a strawberry, there's no ingredients label for a strawberry because it's literally just a strawberry. Now a Pop-Tart, it's going to be this white sugar, this wheat, other ingredients we can't read. That's how you know it's not whole food. So an apple is just an apple, spinach is just spinach. So we preach whole foods, more vegetables, specifically because you are more gut bacteria than you are human. And so it's so important to keep your gut bacteria or microbiome happy and healthy, because if you don't, you're going to have so many issues: headaches, acne, fatigue, bloating, all of these things. And so that's why I preach vegetables in its own separate category. To me, that also looks like water. So hydrating yourself. And for some people, yes. I know water sometimes can be boring and bland and you just don't want to do it. So then any non-caffeinated drinks will be okay too. So sparkling water, herbal teas. I'm trying to think of other things. I'm trying to think of things that don't also have artificial sweeteners. I'll get back to you ladies on that. I have a lemon in my water right now. So even if you wanted to do infused water with cucumber and watermelon, that would be good. And then you have a little snack once you're done your water. And then again, just getting good sleep, prioritizing your sleep. If I could say out of the 5 things that I just said, positive mindset, sleep, stress management, nutrition, and exercise, I would definitely say sleep and stress management would be on the top 2 of my list. Because here's the thing, I know I should be preaching more so nutrition, but at the end of the day, you being stressed out and you not sleeping, it doesn't matter how healthy you are. You can still easily go to the grave from being stressed. because there's no amount of nutrition that's going to stop you from having a heart attack if you're living a life where you're stressed and not sleeping. So definitely sleeping. And then some things that you can do for stress management. Again, bioindividuality, you have to decide what fills your cup up. But I do personally journaling, gratitude, just a gratitude list of five things that happened in the last 24 hours will really snap me out of a bad mood. Because I'm like, if I can find 5 things that happened in my life that made me grateful, what am I complaining about? Like, yeah, this might be a crap situation, but overall my life is good. Yoga, and then getting outside in just nature. And I don't care if you just stand there or go on a walk, but just being outside in nature is also really good for stress management. But again, we all have our different things that we like to do. So what is that thing for you that you can do on a consistent basis, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes a day? So those are healthy habits to me that I think encompasses holistic health.
Okay, so for the 5 things, once again, sleep, stress management, nutrition, exercise, and
positive thinking.
Positive thinking, the mind. Got it.
Yeah.
Did you watch my video yesterday? I'm pretty sure I probably tagged you on it. I did something on stress management and self-care. So that's pretty cool that you're talking on it, thinking from a holistic standpoint, thinking of ourselves as a whole and not just as a number on a scale.
Well, that's why I specifically wanted to collaborate with you, because I have been following your work, and I feel like while you don't necessarily work in exercise and nutrition, like the way we think, the core values that we have and that we're preaching to our audience is very, very similar. And then when you and I had our conversation, I realized that you were a doctor turned transformational life coach, helping women like work through trauma, and then helping women with financial literacy. Like everything we're talking about right now deeply is entwined in those 2 things too. Like you take care of your bank account because you love yourself so much that you are not going to work your whole life, retire at 65 just to have to go back and work again. Like, no. And it's the same things. It's the same things.
Yes. And then, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, we could go on that topic for days. Yes. Because that's a for me, because I see it all the time. Oh my gosh. So this holistic approach is definitely, I would strongly recommend that anyone wanting to go on a holistic journey to truly take care of their health should definitely connect with Jaiana. I am endorsing her. I think what she's doing for women to help women get healthier, to get massive success on their health journey in 2022. I definitely strongly recommend that you guys connect with her. Jaiana, before we go into the name of your group, I would love for you to share the name of your group. I just have a few more questions. And I would love for you to let these ladies know how to stay connected to you, how to get connected with you, and to hear more about what it is that you do. However, before we go there, do you have any advice for these women about making positive progress on their health journey?
So one of the exercises I like to have women do, because I think this is, first of all, the goal is never to try and 360 your life. Like one day you're this version of yourself with these habits, and the next day, like you're magically changed. Like you throw everything out of the house and you're like, you're starting this new life. Like, so for a very small percentage of people that may work, but for a majority that just feels so overwhelming. It feels annoying. It feels frustrating. It does not feel good. So exercise I like to have women do is write down, okay, first of all, think about the happiest, healthiest version of yourself. Like, who is she? What is her day-to-day routines? But then specifically, what is she doing on a day-to-day basis to pour into her health? Does she go to the gym 5 days a week? Or is she doing at-home workouts 5 days a week? Is she eating a certain way? Is she limiting herself to eating out and drinking alcohol X amount of times a month? Does she have coffee in her life and caffeine, or is she like totally caffeine free? Like, what are all of the things that this version of you, when you think about yourself as the happiest, healthiest version of you, because I can't tell you what the happiest, healthiest version of you is. Only you know that, and you tell me. So then you make a list of all the things she would be doing. And then within that list, you find the thing that you could do consistently that feels like the least resistant. So for example, if that version of me can eat. Okay, so I have like a long list. I'm like, she's going to the gym 5 days a week and she has a personal trainer and she's eating vegetables with every meal. And she's waking up and eating breakfast because she doesn't eat, I'm not eating breakfast now. Then I would, in that list, figure out, okay, what thing actually feels like not only I could do consistently, but I have the least resistance around. Because something that you might put on that list literally makes you cringe right now, but you know you want to strive for that in the future. So that thing that you can do consistently and makes you like actually feel a little excited, like there's not a lot of resistance, just start with that thing. So that might just be you getting a hydro jug or a water bottle and say, I'm just going to drink one of these a day. Out of all the things on my list, this is the thing I'm going to start with. And then you start with that, and then you'll build up some confidence, you'll build up some momentum, and then you go to the next thing on your list, and to the next thing, and to the next thing. And then by December 2022, not only are you going to be celebrating at the holiday table that you are still on this health journey, your family and friends and loved ones are going to see you, and you're just going to be this totally different and elevated person. And it wasn't because you change your whole life overnight. It was because you made the decision one day at a time to keep leveling up and leveling up with small habits.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, it started with the water jug. You're right. This is where it started. My coworker gave this to me. She gifted it to me, and I love her for it forever. But yeah, that was some months ago that I started that. And then it was the exercise. Then it was, okay, you got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning because the gym opens at 5. Get up. You better listen to the word of God. You better do some self-improvement while you're on that treadmill. You need to, and you're right. It was one thing at a time. It did not happen overnight. But now I'm on autopilot. 4 o'clock, I'm up.
Exactly.
Everybody else is asleep.
Look at you now because you were so consistent. Like the conversation we had the other day, it's like, but I need to go to the gym. I'm like, Monique, go back to bed.
Yeah, I was sick and I wanted to go. I was like, I gotta go.
I was like, I am not your coach, but unofficially as your coach, I say no.
No, just go to sleep. And that's a part of self-care, guys. Don't overdo it. That is true. Yes. That is a part of it. That's a holistic mindset that I'm going to have to be sure I work on as well, not to drive myself to the ground. So Jaiana, tell us a little bit, how do we stay connected? How do we hook up with you? Tell us what you have. What do you have to offer these women who are here?
Yes, and perfect. I'll do this part quickly because I want to spend the last 20 minutes answering any and all questions that you ladies have for me. I love Q&A and answering questions specifically to your journey to make it better and more fun and more exciting. So I have a free group called Boss Babe Fitness Community that I will link in a chat below. I also we start on Monday. So I have a $47 holistic health experience. And notice I didn't call it a challenge because it's not a challenge. Like this is an experience for you to get a taste of what holistic health looks like. So we will be focusing on daily mindset trainings. We will be focusing on low impact and at home workouts to give you an opportunity to move your body from a place of love. You don't have to do any of the workouts that I put together for you. You can say, girl, I'm going to do yoga or dance cardio today, and that will check your box. Like that is totally fine. And then we're also going to introduce women in this holistic health experience. And it's only 28 days to whole foods eating. So a lot of women don't really understand like macros, so carbs, fats, and protein, and then how to actually implement it into their diet. So what proteins do I eat? What carbs, what vegetables, what healthy fats? So we're going to introduce them to that and show them how they can do the mindset thing, do the exercise thing and the nutrition thing over the next 28 days and have fun and see progress, but then also be in community, because I think that if you could have done this already, you would have. The one thing that we're really missing is community and accountability to take us to that next level, and women in the trenches to do it with us, because no one likes to do something alone. So like, let's just do it together.
That sounds so much fun. I think I might be joining you on that 28-day journey. Why not?
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. This is our second time launching it, and we have like a good chunk of women come back because they're like, you know what, I know I already did it, but can I please do it again? Because I know what I don't know, and I can improve on things that I wasn't able to do in round one. And so it's just going to be a great group of girls. And it's women only, just because I only coach women. I just put the link to that below. Again, it's 28 days, $47, and we do start on Monday. So if you want to do that, sign up today, just because there's pre-training and you'll get your nutrition lists and you'll want to go and get your groceries so that you can have your healthy food. There is some onboarding work to do before you're ready to go. And then I will go ahead and drop the link to my free group as well. And then we can just get into the Q&A if anyone has questions for me.
You ladies, let's see. Anyone who has questions can just raise their hand and
Dion, I know you were on early, so do you have any questions? You get first dibs.
I was trying, I tend to talk a lot, so I try to like let other people go first because I know me. So, this is like similar to something that I've already been trying to gear myself to because I found out a couple of months ago that I'm pre-diabetic. So, it's been, I guess you would say, like a shock trying to change things, and once you really start paying attention to labels and figuring out how much sugar is in things, and you're just like, it was at a point at one time I was like, well, God, I mean, I can't eat nothing because everything is, so I'm learning now, there are certain things, it's not 100% no sugar, because that's where my mind was at. I can't eat anything with sugar and whatever. And the doctor was like, well, you can do a shortcut and you can get weight loss surgery. And then that way, and then so I started looking at the different bariatric surgeries and whatnot. And these things are ridiculous. They are ridiculous. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't think I want to do that. And then people started talking about how they had hanging skin afterwards. And I knew a girl who got it, and I asked her, what happened and everything. She was like, it was the worst thing I ever did in my life. After I had the surgery, I was throwing up all the time. I was constantly sick. And she was like, I was eating everything they were telling me to eat, but my body didn't agree with the surgery. So, I mean, they offer these things like BBL and all this stuff as like an easy way out, but I don't want to do that easy way out. I've already lost 9 pounds on my own within the last 2 months. So, what I'm doing, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but I mean, I've increased my water intake. I do a lot of fruit infused waters. I cut out, like I used to drink cranberry juice all the time, so I've cut that out. If I eat like stuff like cookies and stuff, I get like those Oreo thins, and I only eat like 4 at a time, because the serving size, which is like 12 grams of sugar, is 4 of those, Oreo thins. So if I get a craving for sugar, I don't completely just, deny the craving, because I did read that if you deny your cravings, then that's a recipe for disaster. So I'll have 4 of those when I want, something sweet or whatever. And if I have a taste for a soda, then, I'll get one, and it has to be in a can. It has to be very little, and I haven't even done that. I was the kind of person I would drink probably a liter of soda every day, and I've gone to maybe a can of soda every couple of days. So, it was drastic changes. And my issue is I cannot get with keto. Sorry. First of all, I don't eat pork and I don't eat beef. So keto is not good for me, because everything that they're telling me I should eat, I don't eat, because pork is very unhealthy. I stopped eating that like 10 years ago. I stopped eating beef like 15 years ago. So the only thing I eat is seafood and chicken. I'm like, so, what else am I going to cut out? I hate avocados, so that's not going to work, so, so I tried keto, and it was like, I was miserable. I'm like, people do this on purpose. I had headaches all the time. They're like, oh, that's just ketosis. No, it's not.
They call it keto flu.
And I said, this is not, so if I feel like if my body is giving me these types of things, then it's not for my body, because obviously my body is rejecting it for a purpose. So right now, when I eat, I actually found this stuff called miracle rice, because I like rice, but I got this stuff miracle rice, which is it's not like rice, but it is good. And then I'll eat like cauliflower rice, cauliflower mashed potatoes. I eat a lot of vegetables. I've always been a good vegetable eater, so that wasn't an issue. The issue was like I like pasta, so I switched it up to whole wheat pasta, which even my kids like the whole wheat pasta, because I made a spaghetti and meatballs last week, and they loved they said they liked it better than the regular pasta. So I was like, okay, and then I have vegetable pasta for myself, so I've been making these changes. My whole thing is that it's been hard for me to work out because last year, around this time last year, I broke my knee and sprained my ankle. And I had a brace all the way up to my thigh. So I gained a lot of weight from just, being immobile. So then I tried to get moving and start walking around. So I go to the doctor yesterday. They're telling me the ankle that I sprained has inflammation in the ligaments and in the tendons. So now I have to go see a podiatrist. So I got started on exercising again, going for walks and stuff like that. And now that's hindering me. So now I get kind of like to a point of frustration, like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I'm losing weight slowly but surely, but I want to be able to work out, these other things that I want to do, and I can't do it. And it kind of makes me feel like, man, I feel like I'm at an impasse. I'm like smacking my head up against the wall because, I know I'm doing good things, but there's the one thing that I really, really need to do, and I can't do it as much as I would like to.
Yeah. First off, thank you for sharing all that and being open and willing to share parts of your story. I just want to congratulate you for not doing the weight loss surgery. Again, bio-individuality, but also it really can jack up your system. And it's like, once that surgery is done, like you can never go back, right? You can never put those pieces back in your body. And so I just want to say, I see you and thank you so much for opting out and opting for a path for yourself, where not only are you going to start healing your body and being more healthy at a level that you haven't been doing before your pre-diabetes diagnosis, but you're along the way of you reversing your pre-diabetes diagnosis and losing the weight and healing yourself back to movement. You're learning more about your body. You're learning more about what feels good and what doesn't feel good for you. And to wake up overnight and have had that surgery, be taking this beautiful journey that you're embarking on away from you. And so I'm just like so grateful that you are choosing the path that you did. For exercise, movement feels good. I love moving my body. It feels so good. It just makes it releases endorphins and chemicals in your brain that makes you feel like, yeah, I did that. However, if your body right now is saying like, hey, we don't like this, like we are having inflammation because of this, I would encourage you not to beat yourself up for not being able to work out right now, because there's still so many other things that you can do, like stress management, positive thinking, nutrition, as well as sleep. And those things, I have women who are on a nutrition only program with me. They are not working out. And I mean, they're moving their body. So we have them do like low impact movement. So as long as they get their 7K steps in, that's all we require. But you can get 7K steps in by going and doing some laundry, cleaning your house, going to work, coming back home, going to the grocery store, etc. So you don't need a gym or going on a walk to hit your movement goals. If you are going to do movement, it's like, Jaiana, though, I really want to move my body. Some things that I would recommend is swimming. It is a great full body workout. You will burn so many calories. Not that we're after calories burned, but I'm saying it's like legitimately a great workout, and it's low impact. So that you're not putting any weight on your leg, you're not putting any weight on your ankle or your knee. And so that chance for inflammation goes down. Another thing that I thought of was the recumbent bike. So that's the bike where you like sit back and you're just moving your legs. But again, because you're not walking, you're not putting so much weight and pressure on those joints, because your ankle joint and your knee joint are so small compared to the rest of your body. So it makes sense that they would be inflamed, but at the end of the day, we still have options. And then the last thing that I was going to suggest, if you have a gym and you're feeling comfortable, or we can get some equipment and do this stuff at home, weight training, girlfriend. Like, weight training is not only going to allow your body to be more strong, just more strong, but it's low impact, right? So you don't need to be standing up to do shoulder presses or dumbbell curls or even some leg workouts. You can do those things sitting down, especially if you have access to a gym, because a lot of those machines are low impact.
Right. Yeah, I do have a membership to Crunch Fitness. So
There we go.
and the one that's, well, there's one that's closer, but there's one that's, it's more like a 20-minute drive. They do have a pool. So yeah, and I didn't think about swimming, because you think about swimming in the summertime, and you live in Colorado and it snows. You don't think about that, but yeah, I can definitely do that. And I do like the
It's just a
exercise bike.
couple of
I
times
actually
a
like
week.
the exercise bike way better than the treadmill. I dread the treadmill. So even when I go to the gym and I want to do cardio, I do the exercise bike.
Right. And you started having that inflammation because you were walking, correct?
Yeah.
Is that so? Here, that's why I love holistic health so much. Like, then listen to your body. Your body is telling you, hey, right now, with the weight we're at, because of our injury, we can't sustain this. And so it's like, okay, cool. By listening to my body and treating my body as a temple and with love, I can do the recumbent bike, I can do swimming. And even if you did that 1 or 2 times a week, that's still better than doing nothing, right? Again, and it's not all or nothing. It's like, what can I do in this season of life? And then maybe, well, not maybe, we're putting this out into the universe. Soon you will be back to a place where you can do all of the things, right? But it's like right now, your body is telling you exactly what it needs. We just have to listen.
Okay. That sounds good. I can do that.
Awesome. And I know you said you don't eat pork or beef. One of the things that I incorporate in my diet that I really love, that's neither of those two things, are turkey. So turkey breast, ground turkey. Oh, so good. Turkey bacon. And then another thing too, you mentioned the Oreo thins. I'm not going to tell you not to eat them because again, no food is good or bad, off limits, whatever. But one of the things, I have a huge sweet tooth. Like I love sweets. Donuts are my favorite food. That's so bad. Other than vegetables, I love donuts. So one thing that I do to not eat donuts every day is protein shakes. So vanilla or chocolate, depending on what you're feeling, add some peanut butter to it and it tastes like a Reese's. It's so good. And then another thing that I do to easily get more vegetables in is instead of adding ice to your protein shake, add frozen cauliflower. It literally acts like ice. You would never even know what was in that shake, and you're getting more vegetables in. It is such a win-win. And I personally never drink a protein shake or any kind of smoothie, whatever, unless it has veggies in it. So I will put spinach or kale in my shake just because, like, again, I can't roll that way. I have to have veggies. So that could just be a great way to crave your sweet tooth, to curb your sweet tooth, but also getting more vegetables.
My thing with the protein shakes, I don't know, it's probably the ones I've tried. They have like this horrid aftertaste. Like you drink it, you're like, oh, it's chocolate, it's good, and then all of a sudden you're like, what is that right there? What do you do to get rid of that? Because to me, it's like, it's almost like a chalk. I can't even describe it. I know it's a protein taste because I only taste it when I try protein shake. I've never had that taste before because I do smoothies. Like I'll make fruit smoothies and I'll put carrots in it or, whatever vegetable I just put my hands on. The kale, I should probably need a better blender because it comes out chunky. I don't like the chunky. It's kind of gross. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take the kale and I'll put it in a pot and put like a smoked turkey leg in there and then I'll boil it down and then I'll eat it.
That sounds so good.
And I knew what I've recently tried is plant-based burgers and plant-based meat. Like the Beyond Meat is really good. The Impossible Meat is really good. That, I mean, you eat it and I'm like, this cannot possibly be plant-based. I read the label because I was like, they lying. This got some tastes like meat.
Trust me, I was vegan for 4 years. I know what you mean. I ate the Impossible Burger for the first time and I literally spit it out because I thought it was like a real hamburger. And I was like on the verge of tears because I'm so passionate about veganism. And they were like, I promise you it's vegan. Like there's nothing to worry about. And I'm like, are you sure?
I did. And I thought that too. And then I watched a lot of Tabitha Brown YouTube videos. So I said, I know she got something on YouTube about this Impossible Meat. I said, because I just knew it wasn't. So I went in and I watched her. She made a spaghetti with it. And I was like, all right, so I know she eating it. That's real, because this tastes like some real meat. I mean, like some beef that I haven't tasted in years. And if I start eating beef now, it's going to tear up my stomach, because after you eat, you cut off those types of foods. If you eat them now, I'm sorry, I'm talking my phone on vibrate.
No worries.
But you know what? After you haven't eaten them in a while, you eat them, they make you sick. They literally make you sick. So I was like, I'm going to get sick. And I didn't get sick or anything. And I was like, I'm gonna buy some more of this. This is really good. And it was and like last night, that's what me and the kids and my kids like it. Like I have an 8 and a 9-year-old, and they will eat them. I'll make Impossible Burgers at home, and they love them, absolutely love them. So I'm testing out new things. I think that's a part of the thing about you know nutrition. They have so many things like I'm 49. Back when I was young, they had Diet Coke and salad, and that's what you were supposed to. If you wanted to lose weight, you ate Diet Coke and salad. But now they have so many different types of things. Like they have plant-based rice. They've got the cauliflower mashed potatoes and things like that, where you're not feeling that you're missing out on things. You're actually just trying things that are different. A lot of people are scared to try those things, so they're like, oh, they're going to taste good, but I mean, they're not going to taste good, but they're actually really good. I guess it's just maybe just me testing. I'm adventurous when it comes to food, so I'll try just about anything. So I just say, oh, that's new, and I'll try it.
I agree. I'm with you. I will try anything at least once. And I think one of the biggest motivators for me to ditch processed foods or eliminate them as much as I can is that honestly, when you think about it, first of all, the reason why I got into, and if you ladies have questions at all, please drop them below. Like I want to be able to answer your questions like for your specific journey. But I was, again, addicted to McDonald's, drinking soda, all of these things. And then my grandma, like the cool grandma, like I loved my grandma so much. She died of 2 curable forms of cancer. And like, it was very abrupt. Like my mom was like, you need to go to the Virgin Islands. Like your grandma's not doing good. And then I got there, like the next day she was gone. And I just remember being so angry. I was so angry, so angry. And then I had to like step back and say, okay, I understand that you're angry. Like she's never going to see you walk down an aisle. She'll never meet your grandkids. But at the end of the day, like you're blaming her for her body and health condition not being able to get her through that cancer, but you eat like crap too. Like the only difference is I'm young, I haven't had kids yet, so I have genetics on my side. That's it. Like, because I see where I'm going. Like my mom, my grandma, they're all overweight and they all don't practice the same healthy habits that I do. And so I decided that right then and there, I was going to take a stance. Like if I could not save my grandma, I'm going to do my damn best to save my daughter and her daughter and her daughter, not by talking about eating healthy, but like literally being a role model. So just like I was saying earlier to you ladies about start with one thing, I literally started with one thing. I like started going to the gym because I thought it would be fun and I needed something to do. So I started going to the gym. I still ate like crap. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm going to drink more water. So I bought a water bottle and I carried it everywhere with me. Even if I didn't drink the water at all that day, I just had to carry it with me. And then you start carrying it with you and you drink more water and then you realize, wow, I'm really thirsty all the time. And so now you just always want to drink water. And then I started with the vegetables and then I started with everything else. And then here we are today. But one of the things that keeps me on this journey is that, just for me personally, when you think about big corporations and food corporations, like they do not care about me. They do not care about me. They do not care about you. We can get all these heart diseases, all of these diabetes, strokes, whatever, and they are still going to make money and profit because even if we're in our grave tomorrow, they have millions of other people to market to. And so when I finally like just made that connection that like I am so obsessed with McDonald's and McDonald's literally does not care about my health. Why am I in this relationship? It almost felt like I was in a relationship with this toxic guy, which I would never stand for, but I'm doing that with this food corporation and my health. And I was like, oh, hell no, like I'm done. And then me and McDonald's broke up, okay? And that's just how it's been. And not just with McDonald's, but with processed food as a whole. Like these companies do not care about you. They do not care about your health issues. They don't care about your inflamed, ankle. They're still going to make money off of you. And so it's just like, but you get to say, like, I'm going to stand for this or I'm not going to stand for it. And you don't need to go and try to change everyone else. You just got to be the change that you want to see. And when you have that deep why, that like, I'm not going to let people take advantage of me and I'm not going to increase their profits, then this journey just becomes so fun. It becomes so fun. And you're not worried about vegetables. It's like, again, it's not about the vegetables. It's something way bigger than that. We have a question. Sonia, can you come off of mute and ask your question? Oh, also Dion, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, how are you?
Hey,
Hi.
Sonia.
Okay.
Dion, thank you so much.
No problem. I have a question. I was curious. So, in your course, or when you are teaching or guiding, what is your take on cleansing the liver, cleansing the gut after we've nourished it with these foods? What's your take on that? What's your go-to for liver cleanse, healthy gut, stimulating the lymphatic system? What are some of your go-to things?
First off, I want to thank you for this question because your liver health is so, so, so important. I am never too, what do you call that word? Egotistical to not admit when I don't have in-depth, thorough education around something. So liver health and cleansing the liver, I literally have a tab pulled open because that's something that I'm starting to get into for myself. But to be able to fully and thoroughly answer your question as an expert, I will say that I'm not the person to do that, just because like that is not my expertise. And I apologize, but I could point you to someone who could answer your questions.
No worries. No, I appreciate your honesty. I like to get different perspectives and just learn different ways. Like I have some go-tos myself, but I'm always searching for more. Like I'm always pushing the envelope, like what else is out there that could cleanse it even better or this or that. So that's why I asked to kind of get your view on that, or even not just the liver, just anything on cleansing the gut and the
So
colon.
right now, I am actually doing an anti-inflammation diet. And I hate calling it a diet, so I'm just gonna call it a lifestyle. So I'm not looking to lose weight or anything like that. No quick fixes. This is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done around nutrition. Like vegan, I loved it. But this is very challenging. And so what I'm basically doing right now, and here's the reason why I'm doing it. My birthday is March 29th, and I'm going to be on this protocol for 60 days. And then you start bringing back in foods. And one of the things that I wanted to gift myself in my body this year was understanding my body at a deeper level than what I've ever sought to do before. So I am eliminating 8 major inflammatory foods and food groups. So that includes, and I can drop it in a comment below in the group, but it includes whole grains, inflammatory oils, it includes nuts and seeds, it includes dairy, eggs and egg whites, it includes, what else? Did I already say whole grains? I think I did. It includes, I already said nuts and seeds. Oh, it includes nightshades. I'm missing one more. I'll think of it. But then I'm also cutting out, well, I've already been alcohol free, so that doesn't count, but I'm still cutting it out, and I'm cutting out caffeine. And the reason why I'm doing this is because these are highly inflammatory foods and food groups to your gut microbiome. Now, just because they're highly inflammatory doesn't mean that they're highly inflammatory to me. I just want to know which ones are highly inflammatory to me, because here's the thing. When you are eating all of these foods that are processed and chemicals and highly inflammatory, you start having symptoms all the time. Like maybe you have acne or bloating, or you're just moody, right? And but you think that's normal. And it's not that that's normal. It's that your food is fuel. So if you're putting in something that is causing your gut distress and you're eating it all the time, so much so that the symptoms that you're having from these foods just become the norm, you literally just think that's like, oh, that's just how my body works, so that's who I am, but really it's not. And so I'm doing this for 60 days so that on my birthday this year, I can truly say these foods are supportive to my body, these foods are not supportive to my body. And I'm doing that because as a health coach, like I preach, food is fuel all the time. And I do eat a lot of healthy food, but I want to know specifically which healthy foods are blessing my body versus which healthy foods may be healthy for someone else, but not this temple. So that's one of the things that you can do. You can do an elimination diet for 30 days, and that's definitely going to support your liver, because if your body is inflamed, your liver is not happy. But then it's also going to support your gut microbiome, because if your gut microbiome is inflamed, your body is not healthy and happy.
True. Thank you so much for that.
You're so welcome. And I will definitely post those 8 inflammatory food groups in the comment once you post the video, the recording, Monique. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. You can even post them in Women with Perspective so that they can go back and look at them. The one thing that came to mind, I remember taking a health class, my first health class that I had to take, and it was this little old lady, and she was talking about the same thing that you're talking about, inflammatory foods. And at the time I struggled with GI problems, and I eliminated one thing, and it was my favorite thing in the world, milk. Dairy. I was lactose intolerant. That was why I had so many GI issues, going back and forth to the doctor trying to figure out what's going on with me. It was milk.
Yep. And most people actually are lactose intolerant, but because they've been on dairy, because milk makes your bones strong since they were young, they just have these symptoms that they think are normal.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, oh no, that's just what my body does. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Let's just take it out for 2 weeks. And then they are sick when they reintroduce it. And now you have the powerful decision to say, I'm going to consume this sometimes because I like ice cream, or you know what, it's not even worth it to me. But if we don't even have the information to begin with, to me, that is the sad part.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that what you're doing is very powerful. And I can definitely say that I've had the benefit of that many, many moons ago. I won't tell you how many, but it's been a while. I haven't had milk. So yeah, definitely.
I love that. And we have all these alternatives. Like I'm a sucker for almond milk and oat milk. Like we don't really need dairy milk anymore. And back to what Dion was saying, so many people are afraid to try these things, but until you try it, you won't even know.
Exactly. We have another question for you. It's coming from Jennifer. Jennifer, would you like to unmute?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Would you like to go on video, Jennifer?
I'm not able to. I'm driving
okay.
at the moment.
That's fine.
So you won't see me because it's dark. But I have a coaching question. So I know you had mentioned Beachbody earlier. I am a Beachbody coach. And I am actually using that platform to transition me into certified personal training. So as far as coaching is concerned, because I heard you talk a lot about, loving your body, which I really love that you said that, because, as women, we do have a lot of body shaming going on, especially I work with a lot of women like myself. I'm a single mom. I've had 2 C-sections, and having 2 C-sections is like really hard to get rid of your belly after that. So I run into a lot of women that are just so down in the dumps about how they feel about themselves and how they feel about their bodies. I want to know, like, what would be something that you do to help encourage them on a continuous basis? Because sometimes I feel like, and I'm being transparent, just because I'm a coach doesn't mean I know everything. So I want to know, how I can help other women feel better about themselves. Like, yeah, I know we push, everyone thinks that Beachbody just pushes products. Personally, I don't push anything that I haven't tried. I've been with 2 other health companies before. I absolutely hated the products. And this is the one that works for me. And I know it can help other people because a lot of their things are plant-based now. But my focus is to help women that just have a really bad self-image of themselves. I mean, even when they start working out, it's a constant pity party. I'm gonna use that. And it's like, at some point, yes, you have to do the work. I can't do it for you. I can't step in your body and work out for you. I can't step in your body and eat properly and things like that. So I really want to, I want to know, like, what your thought process is with that, because I want to step up my game as far as the motivation piece and how we're motivating women to like kind of switch the dynamic. Like I'm not working out because I hate the way that I look. I'm working out and I'm eating good because I love myself.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Juan, for being open, sharing, asking your question with vulnerability and authenticity. I think it's a great question, number one. And really quickly, I do have to go soon because we have a movie that we're going to see the new Spider-Man, and it starts at 7:50. So,
Okay.
but this is a really great question to end on. Here's the thing. I haven't had kids yet. And so most women, this is in my head, this is what I say all the time. Most women, like, they dream of the day they get married and walk down the aisle. I'm like, no, skip all of that. I just want to become a mom so bad. Like, I'm just going to be the best mom. And I love kids so, so, so much. And so when I hear that, there are women out there who have had C-sections and they're looking at their body in the mirror and they're just feeling so ashamed and so unhappy in their bodies, one of the mindset things is it's always about perspective, right? And so your struggle is someone else's dream. So you're having the C-sections and having the extra fat around your stomach, someone else would kill for that, because there's a mama out there or someone who's wanting to be a mom who can't even get pregnant. She will never even have the opportunity to have a C-section because she'll never be able to even carry a baby and grow a baby inside of her. So her options are not to have a kid at all or to adopt, right? And so one of the things that you can preach and help your clients understand is that, listen, like our bodies from just a biological level, right? Like I know women are way more than just carrying kids, but at the end of the day, like we were meant to have kids and we were meant to carry them. And so the fact that science has advanced so much that now we're actually able to have C-sections so we don't die at birth and all these other things, I think it's just so beautiful. And that this is a scar or a battle wound of you being able to give life, not just one time, but 2 times. Like how beautiful is that? And so that simple reminder that my moment or my thing that I'm trying to get rid of would be someone else's like miracle. Right. And so every time you look down at those C-section, those lines from your C-section, I would think this is my miracle, because I'm telling you, so if I got news, right, that I could never have a child, I would switch places with you immediately. Like, let's go. You can have the 6-pack that I have. I want your C-section and the 2 kids. Another thing that you can do is, if you don't already have a Facebook group, I would start a Facebook group and I would get all of these women in community and I would start having calls just like this. I would start having calls on maybe like a Monday mindset call where you can talk about the body stuff, like body positivity, talking to yourself kindly, going on a journey from a health journey from a place of love and not punishment, and why, like, and you can even talk about how we got here in the first place. Like the reason why we shame our bodies as women is because society tells us that our bodies are wrong. No matter if you could be too skinny, too dark, your hair's too short, your eyebrows don't look good, anything. Like it's not, this is not normal. Right? This conversation that we're having right now should not be normal. But I can tell you, so many women, because I get on so many calls with women, hate their bodies. They hate their bodies and they hate themselves. And I am doing my damn bestest to flip the script. Like, no, we are queens. We should love our bodies. I don't care what your body looks like. I don't care if you have pre-diabetes, heart condition, if you have stage 4 cancer. Like at the end of the day, your body is your best friend, because she has been there with you from day one. Like you can have no one else in the world and your body is still going to be there. And so C-section or not, like love it. And I think the best way to get that message across is getting your clients in community, in a free Facebook group, and then having these conversations every Monday or every Wednesday. It could be Wellness Wednesday, Women's Wednesday, Monday Mindset, and start having these conversations. And then even ask them, hey, like, what topics would you guys like to cover? And because you mentioned like, I don't have all the answers. That's okay. You don't have to. Let's have an open conversation. And when women can share their thoughts on what someone else said, maybe it's not you running the show. It's just a collaborative 30 minutes where we get to talk and feel better about ourselves together. Because it's a hard journey. It really is. I hope that helps.
That's good. Yes, it did. Thank you. That's a good idea. Thank you.
You're so welcome. There was this story and it sticks with me so hardcore. This lady, it was like, let's say it's a group of 7 women, right? And let's say they're an Alcohol Anonymous or something like that. They're an AA. Everyone's like admiring this girl's hair. They're like, oh, it's just so beautiful and blonde. Like, I just love your hair. She literally takes it off, throws it and says, you can have it, because she has cancer. She was like, I would rather trade you my hair and get back my health, and you can have the cancer and I'll be bald, like, and I'll have your hair. And so it's just that reminder that 1, everyone is going through something, and 2, our something is someone else's wish, right? Like, we have drinking water and someone in another country is begging for clean water. And so it's just like gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Jaiana? Jennifer, you still there?
Look at it. You look like a little king. You look like a little
somebody,
king.
I think we need to mute her.
somebody, yeah, I'll have to mute whoever that is. Let's see. Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. No, that was very helpful. That was very helpful.
Can I also say something as well, Jaiana? Also, another thing that you can do is you can help them by using that negative self-talk as self-motivation to motivate them to improve it. Because there comes a point when change is going to happen, there comes a point where you've had enough. And it's okay to say, I've had enough. I've had enough of not being healthy. I've had enough of trying to go on this health journey by myself. I've had enough of whatever it is, my finances being turned upside down, because that's the point where you have a decision to make. Are you going to continue on the same path that you're on, or are you going to make a change? So that's also another perspective as well. Loving yourself and loving yourself enough, like Jaiana said, to make that change that's necessary for you to progress, to make the best decision for that temple. So I guess at this point where we are, because I know Jaiana has to go and it's been a great conference, what are you ladies going to do? Are you at that place where you're ready to make change, to get support alongside you? Jaiana is offering a great offer. Like I said, I say, hey, go have fun with her, enjoy, learn. I'll be a part of what she's doing. Come join us. Why not? Let me know, let her know. You guys have the Facebook group. It has been a pleasure. Jaiana, thank you so much for spending time with us in Women with Perspective. Women with Perspective, we are going to be doing monthly meetings. This is my commitment to you. We will have at least 1 meeting a month with an amazing woman who's able to offer you great information that you can apply not only to your lives, but to the lives of your moms, your daughters, your sisters, and all the other women in the community. That's what we do. John, is there anything you want to say before you part?
I think you said that well. At some point you will get to this triggering point. My triggering point was my grandma dying and then me looking back at my habits and being angry with myself. I'm not saying be blind or ignorant, right? Like, you know, if you're overweight or have prediabetes, that is a sign that you should make a change. But once we get to the point, okay, I'm going to make that change, there's no need to like shame your body or just, you know, hate yourself. It's like, okay, cool. I've gotten myself here. I recognize my current situation. And now I'm going to move forward from a place of love, because if I'm going to be on this journey 20 years from now, I got to love myself. I got to love the journey. I can't just bring this toxicity everywhere, because no one wants to be around someone who's miserable and toxic, right? So it's that balance of giving yourself grace and loving yourself, but then also being smart enough to know, okay, I need to make a change.
Exactly.
So I really appreciate you saying that, because that's why women work with me. They finally hit their trigger point. It's not the girl who's like, well, at least I'm not as big as her. They're like, no, screw that. I'm not comparing myself to her anymore. I'm not hitting my fullest potential.
Exactly. So ladies, it's been a pleasure. Jaiana, I think we have somebody's hand who is raised. Who is this? Someone raised their hand.
I do have to go.
Okay, Ria. Okay.
Hi, sorry. Did you guys hear me from before? I'm not sure if my mic is working.
I know that Jaiana is going to have to go. Did you have a question for her?
Oh, I just wanted to check my mic to see if it was working. I just wanted to say like thank you guys for the amazing like meeting. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot and I'm really excited to hear more.
Absolutely. And you are in Women with Perspective, right, Ria?
She's in Boss Babe Fitness community, but I dropped
Yeah.
the link to Women with Perspective for all of them.
Okay, awesome. Jaiana, appreciate you. Ladies, we'll be doing this again next month. Ria, thank you for the positive feedback. Ladies, feel free to share the information within the community because that's what we're supposed to do. We're women helping women through godly connections. Jaiana, thank you. Queen, you're awesome. Take care of yourself, ladies. Have a good night.
Thank you, ladies. Monique, you're the best. Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Take care.